Borderlands adds spyware and new user agreement, boys. Oh boy, we've got a hell of a video today. So as you can see on screen, this article states, the hit series of video games, Borderlands, has just recently changed its user policy, and those that took the time to fully read it found out they would be forking over private information, along with their freedom to express themselves as they see fit. You know, it's headlines like this that genuinely boggle my mind, boys. Because, like, it takes a 5-second Google search to figure out that this is literally just a bunch of hot air. Like, this is insane. When you read a video game's user agreement, make sure you question why you have to, and make sure not to look over how they openly obtain information on you they don't need. This entire fiasco is why you consistently see smaller indie developers or teams rising to the top of popularity while major studios are pleading with their player base so they don't go bankrupt. It is a massive overstep in authority that is not only making modern video games unbearable, but is now affecting older titles that we still love and enjoy. This video is what brought the situation to my attention, along with posts from users like Carl RJ, remember that name, boys, who stated on Reddit, I got a similar dialogue box a few days ago on Borderlands 2. Part of the first page of the text says, please read this agreement carefully and take particular care when reviewing these sections. Section 6. User Rules. When using our services, you have the obligation and responsibility to help us ensure that services are inclusive and respectful for all users and our employees and contractors. You must follow the user rules in Section 6 while using the services, virtual items, or your account. Section 17. Mandatory Arbitration. This agreement contains a mandatory arbitration clause and a waiver of class action and jury trial rights for all users residing in the United States and any other territory other than Australia, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, or the territories of the European Economic Area. Reading the rest of these comments, you will find exactly what I found, that every Borderlands game to date has had inconsistent and constantly changing EULA changes. Constantly changing EULA changes. Okay then. That you need to keep accepting in order to play the game you've already paid money for, whether it be recently or a long time ago. The reason they're getting away with this so far? Simple. You don't actually own the game. Okay, so now that I've read the article in full, let's all take a step back. Let's take a breather. Let's understand that this is complete and utter bullshit. This is not actually true, and this is straight up fear-mongering. Now, you know a minute ago when I said remember the name Carl RJ? Well, here we have his comment on Reddit that states, first off, there is currently no malware/spyware in any of your existing Borderlands games, and there is unlikely to be in the future. Think about it. Either they shipped malware/spyware years ago and they're just now telling you about it, or there's nothing there now. They have not shipped any new code in over a year. If you're worried that there's suddenly malware or spyware in the existing games, where did it come from? Unless it manifested out of nothingness by magic, it's not there, so your existing games should be fine. Gearbox posted a new TOS/EULA now, because they're publishing under Take-Two, and necessarily have to use at least parts of Take-Two's EULA. There are sane, reasonable, and boring explanations for most of the things in the EULA. This is not to say that the new EULA is good, but it's not much different from the EULAs on most every game, app, device, service you already use, including Reddit. If you're not up in arms about all of those, you need to ask yourself why you're especially upset about this one EULA in particular. A few people seem to have misinterpreted, intentionally or otherwise, parts of the EULA in order to get everyone riled up to get clicks. If you're really angry because someone told you to be really angry, you may have been manipulated. For a very good explanation of the situation, see this comment. This is one of the better ones of dozens of lengthy comments that have been written over the past month by various people, patiently explaining the situation over and over. So as you can see, not only was that article blatant fear-mongering, but they actually completely misquoted what he said to begin with. And the Reddit post literally comes up on Google before the article, by the way. I saw the article and I felt that I had to make a video about this because I think this article is actually written by an insane person. The lengths that this person is jumping to when the actual EULA is available online right now. Another good take I found on this situation is from Reddit, of course, and it says, the correct answer to this is literally nothing of note. They uploaded a few cheating clauses to use clearer language for things like DLC unlockers and paid currency exploits, with a section about not using harmful language. Basically boils down to you can't call people slurs through any of their services. Some illegally illiterate, terminally online individuals made content fear-mongering over things like their data collection policy, which hasn't changed and is basically the same as every other online services, and only affects what you give them. Email, name, date of birth, and such when signing up for an account or making use of their services, such as making a purchase. There is also a section about their use of government-issued IDs, which, as long as you aren't from countries like China and Korea, where they have laws in place limiting and restricting online access and playtime through the use of government-issued IDs, this doesn't affect you at all, and if you live in one of those countries, it has nothing to do with Take-Two or Gearbox. I have also seen people having an issue with them, quote, sneaking this EULA into games that are over 10 years old, but they, Take-Two, have only recently acquired Gearbox and therefore the Borderlands franchise. And while I personally don't much care for being upset over this, I can somewhat see where people are coming from, but on the other hand, EULAs are not legally binding in this day and age, and for the data collection portion, you have free will and the option to lie. These big companies do not care if Hugh Janus, born January 1st, 1776, and identifies as a ferret in a human's body, signs up for their service and will likely never take action on any account for the simple reason of they don't care about you as an individual. You are a number on a spreadsheet. So, yeah, pretty based take there. And as I always say with these videos, this is the exact reason it's so important to do your own research on these topics. Don't just take what people say on the internet as fact. And as these comments have stated, basically everything else we use on a daily basis has pretty much the same data collection policies. I mean, take games like Valorant, for example, which genuinely does have kernel level access to your computer. Look at things like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. All of these apps and a lot of the games that we play on a daily basis have these exact same data collection policies. They have all of these exact same things. What was said in the comments rings true. If we're not up in arms about those different platforms and different games, why are we so worried about this one? Now, to finish this off, I'm going to read directly from the actual Gearbox EULA. By installing and using the software, you consent to the information collection and usage terms set forth in the licensor's privacy policy, including, where applicable, the transfer of any personal information and other information to licensor, its partners, affiliates, vendors, and to certain other third parties, such as governmental authorities in the US and other countries located outside of Europe or your home country, including countries that may have lower standards of privacy protection. The public display of your data, such as identification of your user-created content, or displaying your scores, rankings, achievements, and other gameplay data on websites and other platforms, The sharing of your gameplay data with hardware manufacturers, platform hosts, and licensors, partners, affiliates, vendors, and marketing partners, and other uses and disclosures of your personal information or others' information as specified in the above referenced privacy policy, as amended from time to time. If you do not want your information used or shared in the manner described in licensor's privacy policy, then you should forego using the software. So it's literally just basic stuff. I mean, they're collecting their data and they're reserving the right to use that data the same that every other big company does. Again, there's nothing out of the ordinary for Gearbox or Take-Two. There's no malicious intent going on here. There's no viruses or malware or spyware. It's literally the exact same thing that you get when you use YouTube, or if you use Google Chrome. If you use a browser to watch this video right now, whether you're on your phone or on a computer or on a tablet, I mean, if you're on a smart fridge, they're collecting your data. It's just how it works. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you like what you saw, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I hope everybody has a wonderful day.